given Roe possibly being overturned this year, and the states receiving permission to set their own abortion restrictions, how strict should abortion restrictions be? Should there be no exception for rape or incest? How strict should they be?
Some states will do everything. I don't think if the Supreme Court says we have tinkered with the mechanisms of death, which is what Sandra Day O'Connor said, and Ginsburg said Roe is bad law. If we are no longer dehumanizing a group of our population, then all unborn children, despite the circumstances of their conception, we don't punish people in our country for the crimes of their parents. And we have worked with so many victims of sexual assault and rape victims, and the ones who have abortions and the ones who don't have abortions. We work with both of them. And the ones that do have an abortion, because our society says, I mean, come on, it's rape, of course you should have an abortion. And they write off that unborn child, but they also make the grave mistake of thinking that abortion as a surgery is designed to heal. And it's not. You've now been a victim of a rape, and now you've gone through the pains of an abortion and the emotional pains of an abortion. And the women who have done both, who have done rape victims who have an abortion, say one anniversary reminds them of the other. And that is not something that our society talks about at all. There's this misguided compassion that somehow abortion is the best thing for certain women, and it's not.
Should a woman, a girl at 12 who gets pregnant, be required to bring to term?
Yeah, see, so this is what happens.
And 52-year-old, same the other end.
Yeah, and this is a good example of what we have to do. This is what happens when we dehumanize a group of our population. I mean, well, what if we start paying the slaves and they live on our property and they really like it? I mean, once people would say play God or dictate who gets to live and who doesn't, who gets certain rights, who doesn't.
Yeah.
It's Pandora's box.
Right.
Now you're just selecting which babies we abort. Now you're selecting.
What about in the doctor's decision, the health of the mother dictates an abortion?
Life of the mother is something that has never been defended in court. It simply doesn't happen. Alan Guttmacher, who is the research arm of Planned Parenthood, said himself in 1967, there is no medical scenario where an abortion is going to save the life of a mother. And I think we've made a lot of medical advances. We haven't gone back since 1967. We've moved forward. And, the idea that abortion saves the life of a mother, that scenario's never been given. And even in court, when Planned Parenthood's attorneys were arguing for it, one of the justices was like, well, what's the example? When does an abortion save the life of a mother? And it doesn't. If anything, it would delay getting her real medical treatment.
Should the states have the ability, the right to pass a law saying a woman who voluntarily aborts her fetus, her child, should be subject to criminal prosecution?
All the states are going to handle that, and I think it'll be differently. And I don't.
Okay, what do you think? What is your personal opinion? Should a woman be eligible for prosecution for an abortion?
Not immediately when it's overturned. I think that there'll be levels of anything. Anytime you put a crime, anytime you introduce a crime, it'll be very similar to drugs, where first-time offenders don't get out. I think the abortion doctors definitely will be prosecuted, and they should be, and that should be the focus, because if nobody's providing it.
But you often see signs, abortion is murder. Who is responsible for the murder if not the mother?
Well, the doctor carries it out. The mother certainly has a role and is culpable of it. She's seeking.
It's like a conspiracy.
Yeah, well, it's not a conspiracy. It's consent.
All right. Should a mother face legal peril for consenting to an abortion?
I don't know. That'll be case by case based on the
What do you think? Should a woman...
At a certain point, we wouldn't say, slavery is illegal, but if, if you have slaves 10 years after the slaves were freed, I think we should prosecute those.
So say after like a 3-strike law, 3 abortions, a woman should by then be subject to some kind of criminal prosecution.
I don't know. That's why we have legislators, and that's why we vote, and they're going to have to hammer that out. But abortion should be illegal in our country. It is absolutely shameful what we have done.
Yeah, but if abortion is murder,
we have legally protected the unborn.
What about a self-abortion? The women have famously committed self-abortions over the years, sometimes to their own detriment. Should self-abortion at the same time lead to women being prosecuted?
You're saying self-abortion.
Yeah.
What is a self-abortion?
An abortion pill.
That's not a self-abortion. They have to be prescribed the abortion pill.
Okay. What do you say to the overwhelming majority of people in polls saying abortion should be safe and legal?
Do you know how many Christians and supposedly good, decent people in the South thought that slavery was a blessing from God? Should we listen to those people because they're the majority? The majority is right and it's wrong, but right and wrong is independent of what the majority believes. And that's what's great about America, is that we go back and forth, and that's why you have elections. But the Supreme Court's greatest victories in their history has been correcting their errors. We didn't vote on slavery. We didn't vote on abortion. Those were mandated by all white male Supreme Courts. So I wouldn't trust when everybody believes something, that doesn't make it legal. And now, more than ever, more people are pro-life than ever.
Okay.